Imagine this. You're watching your favorite currency pair set up for what looks like the perfect breakout. Your analysis is flawless, your timing impeccable, you place the trade with complete confidence. Then, the unthinkable happens. The market reverses instantly, wiping out your position in minutes. Your hand starts shaking, your heart races, and suddenly you're questioning everything you thought you knew about trading. Sound familiar? Now imagine a different scenario. You execute that same trade, but when it moves against you, you remain completely calm. You exit at your predetermined stop loss without hesitation, analyze what happened objectively, and move on to the next opportunity with unwavering confidence. What's the difference between these two traders? It's not their strategy, their indicators, or their market knowledge. It's their psychology. What if I told you that the key to becoming a consistently profitable trader isn't just about mastering charts or memorizing patterns, but about mastering the 6 inches between your ears? Welcome back to Trader's Inner Game. In the next 20 minutes, we'll dive deep into the mental frameworks that separate the professionals from the 90% who fail. We'll explore why even brilliant analysts can lose money, how emotions sabotage perfect strategies, and most importantly, how you can develop the unshakable mindset of a professional trader. Stay tuned, because your psychology might just be the missing link between where you are now and the consistent profitability you've been chasing.
Hello traders, I'm here to share something that took me years to understand and cost me thousands of dollars to learn the hard way. For the longest time, I believed that trading success was all about finding the perfect strategy. I spent countless hours back-testing systems, optimizing indicators, and searching for the holy grail of trading setups. I had notebooks filled with technical analysis, screens covered in complex charts, and a head full of market theories. Yet despite all this knowledge, I kept making the same costly mistakes. I'd nail the analysis, but fumble the execution. I'd have winning strategies, but somehow find ways to lose money with them. I'd make perfect trades in simulation, but crumble under the pressure of real money. That's when I discovered what professional traders have known all along. Trading isn't just about what you know, it's about how you think. Today, we're diving deep into the often overlooked but absolutely critical aspect of trading: psychology. While strategies and indicators are certainly important, it's your mindset that ultimately determines whether you'll join the small percentage of consistently profitable traders or become another cautionary tale. In this comprehensive guide, we'll explore the core principles of trading psychology, understand the common mental traps that destroy even the most promising traders, and learn how to cultivate the same mental discipline that professional traders use to stay profitable year after year. By the end of this video, you'll have actionable insights that can immediately enhance your trading performance, practical tools to strengthen your mental game, and a clear roadmap for developing the psychological edge that separates the pros from everyone else. Let's transform not just how you trade, but how you think about trading.
Here's a statistic that might shock you. Studies have shown that trading success is roughly 10% strategy and 90% psychology. Think about that for a moment. You could have the most sophisticated trading system in the world, but if your psychology is flawed, you'll find a way to lose money with it. Trading isn't just about numbers on a screen. It's about emotions, split-second decisions, and psychological reactions under intense pressure. Every click of your mouse, every decision to enter or exit a trade, every choice to follow or abandon your plan is filtered through your psychological state. Professional traders understand something that most amateurs miss. The market is designed to trigger every psychological weakness you have. It will test your patience during sideways consolidations, trigger your greed during trending moves, activate your fear during volatile reversals, and challenge your discipline when you're on winning or losing streaks. Consider this. Have you ever had a perfectly planned trade that you were absolutely convinced would work, only to watch it fail spectacularly? Or maybe you've experienced the opposite, exiting a profitable trade too early because you were afraid of giving back gains, only to watch it continue in your favor without you. These scenarios aren't about market knowledge or technical analysis. They're about psychology. Your emotional state in those moments, fear, greed, hope, regret, directly influenced your decision-making process and ultimately determined your results. The professionals have learned to recognize these emotional triggers and developed systematic approaches to manage them. They understand that emotions like fear and greed aren't character flaws to be ashamed of. They're natural human responses that need to be acknowledged and managed through proper mental frameworks. When your psychology is aligned with professional standards, you stick to your trading plan regardless of short-term results. You manage risk effectively because you're not emotionally attached to individual trades. You capitalize on opportunities because you're not paralyzed by fear of loss or intoxicated by recent wins. This is why psychology isn't just one aspect of trading. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. Your mind truly is your most powerful trading tool, and learning to use it properly is the difference between consistent profitability and frustrating inconsistency.
Let's examine the psychological traps that destroy most trading careers. Recognizing these patterns in your own trading is the first step toward overcoming them. First, there's the fear of missing out, or FOMO. Picture this scenario. You've been patiently waiting for your setup, following your trading plan, when suddenly you see a stock or currency pair making a massive move. Your rational brain knows this isn't your planned trade, but your emotional brain starts screaming, "Everyone else is making money while you're sitting on the sidelines." FOMO drives you to chase price movements, enter trades without proper analysis, and abandon your systematic approach for the illusion of quick profits. Professional traders understand that missing one opportunity means nothing when you're focused on long-term consistency. They'd rather miss 100 good trades than take one bad trade driven by emotional impulses. Overconfidence is often triggered by a series of winning trades. Success can be more dangerous than failure because it creates a false sense of invincibility. You start believing you've cracked the code and begin taking bigger risks, ignoring your risk management rules, and making trades based on gut feelings rather than systematic analysis. I've seen traders destroy months of gains in a single session because overconfidence convinced them they couldn't lose. Professional traders know that every winning streak will eventually end, so they maintain the same discipline during hot streaks as they do during cold streaks. Loss aversion is another killer. This is the tendency to hold on to losing positions far longer than your plan dictates, hoping the market will come back and save you from realizing a loss. Meanwhile, you cut winning trades short because you're afraid of giving back profits. This backward approach, letting losses grow while limiting gains, is mathematically guaranteed to destroy your account over time. Professionals do the exact opposite. They cut losses quickly and let profits run according to their predetermined plans. Recency bias causes traders to overweight recent experiences when making future decisions. A few recent losses might make you overly cautious and cause you to miss good opportunities. A few recent wins might make you overly aggressive and lead to reckless risk-taking. Your brain naturally gives more importance to recent events, but the market doesn't care about your last 5 trades. Each new trade should be evaluated on its own merits according to your systematic criteria. Finally, there's confirmation bias, the tendency to seek out information that supports what you already believe, while ignoring contradictory evidence. If you're bullish on a stock, you'll notice every piece of positive news while dismissing negative developments. Professional traders actively seek out opposing viewpoints and constantly challenge their own assumptions. They know that the market is always right, even when it contradicts their analysis. The common thread in all these psychological pitfalls is emotional decision-making overriding systematic thinking. Every professional trader has experienced these mental traps, but they've learned to recognize them early and have developed systems to prevent emotions from hijacking their decision-making process.
Professional traders aren't born with superior psychology. They develop it through deliberate practice and systematic approaches. Let's explore the habits and mindsets that separate the pros from the amateurs. First is the power of routine and consistency. Professional traders treat trading like any other serious profession. They have structured routines that prepare their minds for optimal decision-making. This might include reviewing overnight news before markets open, conducting technical analysis using a standardized process, or performing mental preparation exercises. The routine isn't just about market preparation, it's about psychological preparation. By following the same process every day, professionals eliminate decision fatigue and emotional variables that can interfere with judgment. Their minds are primed for discipline before they ever place a trade. Consider a professional surgeon. They don't just show up to the operating room and wing it. They have detailed pre-surgical routines, standardized procedures, and systematic approaches that ensure consistent performance regardless of their mood or personal circumstances. Professional traders approach their craft with the same level of systematic preparation. Emotional regulation is equally critical. Markets are designed to trigger intense emotions, but professionals have learned techniques to maintain psychological equilibrium. Many use meditation or mindfulness practices to develop awareness of their emotional states without being controlled by them. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions. That's impossible and counterproductive. Instead, it means developing the ability to observe your emotions objectively, acknowledge them, and then make decisions based on your trading plan rather than your emotional impulses. Some professionals use breathing techniques to maintain calm during high-stress situations. Others use mental rehearsal, visualizing how they'll respond to various market scenarios before they occur. The specific techniques matter less than the commitment to developing emotional awareness and self-control. Continuous learning is another hallmark of professional traders. Markets evolve constantly, and what worked last year might not work today. Professionals stay updated not just with market trends, but with advances in trading psychology, risk management techniques, and analytical methods. They read books, attend seminars, study the approaches of other successful traders, and constantly challenge their own assumptions. They understand that learning is never complete. There's always room for improvement, always new insights to be gained. But perhaps most importantly, they learn from their mistakes rather than repeating them. Every losing trade becomes a learning opportunity. Every error in judgment becomes data for improvement. Risk management isn't just a set of rules for professionals. It's a core part of their psychological framework. They never risk more than they can afford to lose on any single trade, not because they expect to lose, but because they understand that loss is always possible regardless of how confident they feel. This approach removes the emotional pressure from individual trades. When you know that no single trade can significantly damage your account, you can make decisions based on objective analysis rather than fear of loss. Finally, self-reflection through systematic review and journaling helps professionals identify patterns in their behavior and continuously improve their psychological approach. They don't just track their trades, they track their thoughts, emotions, and decision-making processes. This self-awareness allows them to identify psychological weaknesses before they become expensive mistakes. They might notice that they trade poorly after arguments at home, or that they become overconfident after 3 consecutive wins, or that they hesitate to take valid setups after recent losses. By implementing these practices consistently, you begin to develop the same psychological foundation that supports professional trading success. It's not about eliminating all emotions.
It's about developing the awareness and systems to make consistently good decisions regardless of your emotional state.
Now let's explore the fundamental mindset shifts that transform amateur traders into professionals. These aren't just concepts to understand, they're psychological frameworks to internalize and live by. The first critical shift is moving from outcome-oriented to process-oriented thinking. Amateur traders obsess over the results of individual trades. They feel like geniuses when trades work and like failures when they don't. This emotional roller coaster is exhausting and counterproductive. Professional traders focus entirely on executing their process flawlessly. They measure success by how well they followed their plan, not by whether individual trades were profitable. A losing trade that perfectly followed their system is considered successful, while a winning trade that violated their rules is seen as a failure that needs correction. This shift removes the emotional weight from individual trades. Instead of each trade being a test of your worth as a trader, it becomes simply one execution of a systematic process with positive long-term expectancy. When you focus on process over outcomes, you naturally become more consistent and disciplined. The second shift is moving from reactive to proactive thinking. Amateur traders react to market movements emotionally. They chase breakouts after they've already moved, panic sell during downturns, and make impulsive decisions based on their immediate emotional responses to price action. Professional traders are proactive. They develop detailed trading plans before markets open, anticipate various scenarios, and predetermine their responses to different market conditions. They're never surprised by market movements because they've already considered multiple possibilities and have action plans for each. This proactive approach eliminates the pressure of making split-second emotional decisions. When the market moves, professionals simply execute their predetermined plans rather than trying to figure out what to do in the heat of the moment. The third crucial shift is moving from isolation to community engagement. Many amateur traders try to succeed in isolation, believing they need to figure everything out on their own. This approach leads to repeating the same mistakes and developing blind spots that could be easily corrected through interaction with other experienced traders. Professional traders understand the value of community. They engage with other traders to share insights, discuss strategies, learn from different perspectives, and gain emotional support during challenging periods. They're not trying to get hot tips or copy someone else's trades. They're seeking to broaden their understanding and challenge their assumptions. This doesn't mean blindly following others, but rather learning from the collective wisdom of experienced traders while maintaining your own systematic approach. Another critical shift is moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Amateur traders often believe that trading ability is a fixed talent. You're either naturally good at it or you're not. When they face challenges or losses, they see them as evidence of their inadequacy rather than opportunities for improvement. Professional traders embrace what psychologists call a growth mindset. They believe that trading skills can be developed through dedicated effort, learning from mistakes, and continuous improvement. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to grow stronger. Every loss becomes valuable feedback, and every mistake becomes a stepping stone toward mastery. This mindset shift transforms your relationship with failure. Instead of devastating setbacks, losses become tuition payments in your ongoing education as a trader. Instead of reasons to quit, mistakes become opportunities to identify and correct weaknesses in your approach. Another critical shift is moving from seeking certainty to embracing probability. Amateur traders desperately want to be right about their predictions. They seek certainty in an inherently uncertain environment and become paralyzed when they can't predict market movements with confidence. Professional traders understand that trading is a probability game, not a prediction contest. They don't need to be right about individual trades. They just need their systematic approach to have positive expectancy over many trades. They're comfortable with uncertainty because they know their process will generate profits over time, even though individual outcomes are unpredictable. Finally, professionals shift from short-term thinking to long-term perspective. Amateurs focus on daily, weekly, or monthly results, creating unnecessary pressure and leading to poor decisions driven by temporary performance anxiety. Professional traders think in terms of years and decades. They understand that trading is a marathon, not a sprint, and that consistent execution of a sound process will inevitably lead to long-term success, even if short-term results vary widely. These mindset shifts don't happen overnight, but consciously working to internalize them will gradually transform your psychological approach to trading and dramatically improve your long-term results.
Let's explore the practical tools and techniques that can help you develop and maintain the psychological discipline of a professional trader. The most fundamental tool is a comprehensive trading journal. This isn't just a record of your trades, it's a complete psychological audit of your decision-making process. Professional traders document not only their entry and exit points, but also their emotional state before, during, and after each trade, their confidence level in each setup, any deviations from their planned approach, and their reasoning for every decision. Over time, this journal reveals patterns that would otherwise remain invisible. You might discover that you trade poorly on Mondays after weekend and family stress, or that you become overconfident after 3 consecutive wins, or that you hesitate to take valid setups after experiencing losses. Your journal should include questions like, what was my emotional state when I entered this trade? Did I follow my predetermined plan exactly? If not, why did I deviate? What external factors might have influenced my decision-making? How did I feel while the trade was running? What did I learn from this experience? This level of self-awareness allows you to identify and correct psychological weaknesses before they become expensive patterns. Meditation and mindfulness practices are increasingly popular among professional traders because they develop the mental skills essential for trading success: present moment awareness, emotional regulation, and the ability to observe thoughts and feelings without being controlled by them. You don't need to become a meditation expert, but even 10 minutes of daily mindfulness practice can significantly improve your ability to remain calm and focused during stressful trading situations. Apps like Headspace, Calm, or Insight Timer provide guided sessions specifically designed to reduce stress and enhance mental clarity. The goal isn't to eliminate all thoughts and emotions, but to develop the ability to observe them objectively and choose your responses consciously rather than reacting automatically. Performance tracking tools provide objective feedback on your trading behavior and results. While your trading platform provides basic performance metrics, specialized tools can analyze your trading patterns in much more detail, identifying strengths and weaknesses in your approach. These tools might reveal that you're cutting winners too short, holding losers too long, overtrading during certain market conditions, or experiencing performance degradation after specific types of losses. Objective data removes emotional bias from your self-assessment and provides clear direction for improvement. Visualization techniques, borrowed from sports psychology, can help you mentally rehearse successful trading behaviors. Professional athletes routinely visualize perfect performance before competitions, and traders can use the same techniques to prepare mentally for various market scenarios. Spend time visualizing yourself executing your trading plan perfectly, remaining calm during adverse market movements, taking appropriate profits, and cutting losses without hesitation. This mental rehearsal helps program your subconscious mind to respond automatically in the desired manner when these situations occur in real trading. Risk management calculators and position sizing tools remove emotional decision-making from one of the most critical aspects of trading.
When you predetermine your position sizes based on mathematical formulas rather than gut feelings, you eliminate the tendency to risk too much when you feel confident or too little when you're uncertain. Professional traders never decide position sizes in the heat of the moment. They use systematic approaches that ensure consistent risk management regardless of their emotional state or confidence level in individual trades. Breathing techniques provide immediate stress relief during high-pressure trading situations. Simple practices like box breathing, inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, exhaling for 4 counts, and holding empty for 4 counts can quickly restore calm and clarity when emotions threaten to override rational decision-making. Finally, establishing pre-market and post-market routines creates psychological boundaries between your trading activities and your personal life. A pre-market routine might include reviewing your trading plan, checking relevant news, and performing mental preparation exercises. A post-market routine might include reviewing your trades, updating your journal, and consciously transitioning out of trader mode. These routines signal to your subconscious mind that trading requires a specific mental state and help you maintain the psychological discipline necessary for consistent success. Remember, developing mental mastery is a gradual process that requires consistent practice and patience with yourself. Start by implementing 1 or 2 of these tools consistently, then gradually add others as they become habitual. The goal is to build a comprehensive psychological framework that supports consistent, profitable trading over the long term.
Let's bring everything together and crystallize the key insights that can transform your trading psychology from amateur to professional level. Trading psychology is absolutely the cornerstone of sustainable trading success. You can have the most sophisticated technical analysis, the most profitable strategy, and the best market timing, but if your psychology is flawed, you'll find ways to lose money consistently. The professionals understand that trading is fundamentally a mental game played out through financial markets. We've explored the common psychological pitfalls that destroy most trading careers: FOMO, that leads to chasing markets; overconfidence that breeds reckless risk-taking; loss aversion that turns small losses into account killers; recency bias that skews decision-making based on recent results; and confirmation bias that blinds us to contradictory evidence. But more importantly, we've outlined the path forward. Professional traders develop systematic approaches to managing these psychological challenges through consistent routines, emotional regulation techniques, continuous learning, disciplined risk management, and honest self-reflection. The mindset shifts we discussed aren't just intellectual concepts, they're practical frameworks for thinking differently about trading. Moving from outcome-focused to process-focused thinking removes the emotional pressure from individual trades. Shifting from reactive to proactive planning eliminates the stress of making decisions under pressure. Embracing community over isolation accelerates your learning and provides emotional support. Adopting a growth mindset transforms failures into learning opportunities. Accepting probability over certainty removes the need to be right about every trade. And maintaining long-term perspective over short-term results creates the patience necessary for consistent success. The tools and techniques we've covered provide concrete steps you can take immediately to begin developing professional-level trading psychology. Start with a comprehensive trading journal to develop self-awareness. Consider incorporating meditation or mindfulness practices to improve emotional regulation. Use performance tracking tools to objectively assess your progress. Practice visualization techniques to mentally rehearse successful trading behaviors. But here's the most important point. Developing professional trading psychology is a process, not an event. You won't transform overnight from emotional trading to disciplined execution. It takes time, practice, and patience with yourself as you gradually develop new mental habits and eliminate old patterns that no longer serve you. The good news is that every small improvement in your psychological approach compounds over time. Each day you follow your trading plan instead of your emotions.
Each trade you exit according to your rules instead of your hopes or fears. Each journal entry that increases your self-awareness. All of these contribute to building the mental foundation that supports long-term trading success. Remember, you're not trying to eliminate all emotions or become a trading robot. You're learning to acknowledge your emotions, understand their impact on your decision-making, and develop systems that allow you to make consistently good decisions regardless of your emotional state. The professionals we've studied throughout this video weren't born with superior psychology. They developed it through the same process you're beginning today. Every expert was once a beginner. Every professional once struggled with the same emotional challenges you're facing now. Your journey toward professional-level trading psychology starts with a simple commitment: the decision to treat trading as a serious profession that requires mental discipline, systematic approaches, and continuous improvement. Make that commitment. Apply the principles we've discussed consistently, and you'll gradually develop the psychological edge that separates consistently profitable traders from the vast majority who struggle. Trading isn't just about the markets. It's about mastering yourself. And that journey of self-mastery through trading might just be one of the most rewarding challenges you ever undertake.
Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into trading psychology. If you found this comprehensive guide helpful and feel more equipped to develop the mental discipline of a professional trader, show your support by hitting that like button. It helps other traders discover this content when they're struggling with the same psychological challenges you may be facing. And here's something important. Learning about trading psychology is just the beginning. The real transformation happens when you consistently apply these principles in your own trading. That's why I encourage you to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. We regularly publish in-depth content on advanced trading psychology, risk management strategies, and the mental frameworks used by successful professional traders. Don't just be a passive consumer of information. Become an active participant in your own psychological development as a trader. Join our growing community of traders who are committed to mastering not just the technical aspects of trading, but the mental game that ultimately determines success or failure. In the comments below, I want to hear from you. Which psychological pitfall do you struggle with most? Is it FOMO that leads you to chase markets? Overconfidence after winning streaks? Difficulty cutting losses? Or maybe confirmation bias that prevents you from seeing contradictory evidence? Share your biggest psychological challenge, and let's help each other grow. Remember, every professional trader has faced these same struggles. The difference is that they learn to recognize and overcome them through the systematic approaches we've discussed today. For those ready to take their trading psychology to the next level, check out our related videos on specific topics like developing emotional regulation techniques, creating comprehensive trading plans, and building the systematic approaches that professional traders use daily. Your psychology is your competitive edge in trading. Start developing it today. Stay committed to the process, and remember, the best traders aren't the ones who never make mistakes. They're the ones who learn from them faster than everyone else. Until next time, trade smart, trade systematically, and most importantly, trade with the discipline of a professional. Happy trading!